Hi, everyone, and welcome to MGS Coaching Football. I do really appreciate you watching my channel. Today, in my continuing drill playlist, I'm going to talk to you about a drill that we call Quick Hands Drill. It's a block destruction drill. It's something that you can do in notepads. You can do it in meetings. Well, in fact, that's when we introduce it in the spring, is in a meeting. Okay, that's how safe and effective this drill is. All right, so I'm going to start with the coaching points. This is an everyday drill or an EDD. I'll explain how we set things up. I'll show you what is meant by certain key points, including quick hands and an upward motion, W with the hands, what's meant by stun, long arm, right? All that. I can show you down here in my little inset picture, right? All right, so first up, the coaching points of this drill and how we're able to teach it quickly, efficiently, right? First is quick hands upward. So obviously what that means is you have leverage on the blocker, you're lower than the blocker, and when we talk about upward, we mean literally this way. Okay, quick hands. What's meant by a long arm, or what we call stun, right? Stun the blocker, you got to stop the blocker's momentum moving forward, and full extension literally is this. So when you're full extension, it's as far as your arms can go. Another word would be lock out. But when you lock out, there's a tendency, it's like when you talk about break down, kids stop their feet. You know what I mean? They take that as it just subconsciously, consciously, they stop. Well, we don't say lock out because to us, then what we notice is players kind of stop. So full extension is bang, stun. Right now, it's not realistic that you're not trying to push a car that's broken down, right? But you got to start off with full extension. That's what we mean by a long arm. Okay, so or stun. And then W with the hands. Okay, we want you to get tight hand because what that does is it forces the elbows in. Okay, so we don't necessarily talk about keep your elbows in because when you add too many coaching points, it all gets too complicated, slows down the process. If you get the W hands, notice what my elbows are. They have to come in. You can't have W hands with your elbows out. You know what I mean? So if you focus on the elbows, the hands can be all over the place, and what we're afraid of is they end up on the outside of the frame here. Okay, we don't want it there because whoever gets inside control, as we know, right, offensive blockers are going to hold if they can get their hands inside, and as they should. So the focus is get your hands inside with your elbows in. So we talk about W hands. That makes sense, I hope. And obviously full splay of your fingers as much as possible. So those are the coaching points. The drill setup is very, very simple. Again, use tangible lines. Excuse me. The coach stands behind the people on defense. So the BLs are the blockers, M's and B's are the linebackers, okay? The coach stands behind. The blockers have a hand shield. Now, you don't need to always have it. Like we do this in pregame as well. That's how often we do this drill. So you can do it just on bodies, but when you first teach it, I would highly suggest you do it with the hand shields, okay? So they have a hand shield. The blockers assume what we call a 6-point stance, which means they're on their hands, knees, and toes. Those are the 6 points, and they're going to get 3 reps. So the way the coach does this is he just drops his hand because we want everything on movement. If you use a cadence, well, they're just timing it up on the cadence, and yeah, they might be faster on the cadence. You know what I mean? O and D both don't know the cadence. So that's why we react to movement. So on this, the blockers move the hand shield. So what we say is if the hand shield hits you before you've gotten, right, long arm stun, full extension, then you haven't had quicker hands. You got to have quicker hands. Does that make sense, I hope? Okay. So then what happens is as far as execution, that's the setup. That's all there is to it. Doesn't take any time. And again, we teach this in meetings first, and even at the high school level, you should have time to do this. Okay? When the coach drops his hand, the linebackers explode. upward motion, right? W hands, they've gotten the stun, okay? And what's meant by finish hands above the eyes, notice right here, these hands are above my eyes. Okay, that means you've got the leverage, you're lower than the blocker. Okay, so I just showed you hands above eyes, the W, and you got to get the hands on the blocker first. So what for tangible? What we say is if the shield hits the linebacker's face mask, because that's easier, because kids think they're long-armed. They always think they have full extension. Believe me, even the college kids think they have long extension, full extension. We say if the shield hits your face mask, then you had slower hands. Okay, now we'll film this again, same deal. We got rid of all the practice film. So this spring in April of 25, we'll film this, and I'll have a separate video for you on it, okay? So that's what we use for our tangible landmark. In the second round, so these guys go, and then they don't flip around. They just hand them the shield. They get in a 6-point stance. They become the blockers, and I, the coach, or the GA coach, simply switches behind. Save yourself time. Drill efficiency is huge. Set it up so the coach does the moving, not the players. Okay, because tick, 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 tick. Okay, and you got to stay on time. In the second round, so now the coach will come back to here, round 2, they get in their 2-point stance, and it's the same thing from there. Okay, same starting sequence and execution. So in both the 6-point and the 2-point reps, you got to have that long arm finish with hands above the eyes, tight W hand. All right, see how you can't see my hands because they're above my eyes. Does that make sense? And when they're in a 2-point stance, there's no feet. The focus is strictly on the hands, quick hands. So don't let them take any steps. Right? And it's boom, recoil, boom, recoil. So that piece I didn't mention, but when we do it, it's not like we're going to have them sit there. That's not the purpose of this drill. So it bang and recoil. Because I'll go pew, pew, because I'm trying to get reps in as fast as possible. Okay? And so you can do this drill every single day. And if you have, in this case, there's 8, if there's 10, if there's 6, we just line them all up, walk back and forth, ready, go. You can get everybody their reps, both the 6-point stance and 2-point reps, 2-point stance reps, in a minute. And then everything proceeds from there as far as the block destruction part of your individual. Okay? So as always, if you have any questions, please reach out to me at CoachMJSullivan@gmail.com. See it right up there, because I'd love to talk football with you.